Oh, oh, hold on. Got a problem.
Inspirational talk. Everyday people. Inspirational talk. Intentional choices. Inspirational talk. Extraordinary outcomes. It's Inspirational Talk with Toneal. Now here's your host, international award-winning author and filmmaker, Toneal M. Jackson.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it may be when you all are tuning in to this broadcast. I am your international award-winning author, literary extraordinaire, filmmaker, all-inspiring coach, all of that, y'all. Don't even matter. But I am Toneal M. Jackson. I am your host of Inspirational Talk with Toneal, and I am so happy, so honored to be here on tonight to do what is going to be the final interview in this series, right? If you guys have just joined me, and I don't mean tonight, I mean for this series, if you have missed it, you've been missing some good stuff. So we are on the countdown to the 7th annual APS Awards Gala, and it is going to be taking place, y'all listen to this, next Thursday, okay? Like we are literally 9 days away from the 7th annual gala. Thursday, August 24th at 6:30 p.m. We are literally starting promptly at 6:30. Doors are going to open at 6 p.m. I hope you all have your tickets. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be bananas. It's going to be like the summer event of the year, okay? And so I am so excited. So we have been all of these weeks leading up to it. We've been interviewing the various honorees. So we started some weeks ago interviewing our artistic visionary of the year in the person of Aretha Tatum, who has joined us. Hello to you, Miss Aretha. We have interviewed the Writer Society members in the persons of Sharon Lockhart, Michelle Gerard, Beatrice Carter, Mary Hale, and Tiffany Harris are also members. We also then interviewed our MVPs, who in the persons of Mary Millsap and Tracy Kincaide, who is back with us tonight as she is being awarded twice this year. And then we went to interviewing our indie poet finalists and the persons of Rochelle Matheny, Jesse McClure, and Yvonne Bailey. And then last week, we interviewed our indie filmmaker of the year finalists, Miss Lisa Adams, Shaquille Roberts, and Toneal Brown. And so this week, y'all, we are rounding it out with our indie singer of the year finalists. And I got two of them backstage. They are just waiting to get on. And so, guess what? I don't want to keep them waiting no more. I'm going to bring them to the screen right now. None other than Miss Kmetris and our double nominee and honoree, I should say, Miss Tracy R. Kincaide. Hi, ladies. How are you all doing tonight?
Super excited and blessed of the Lord.
Oh my goodness. So, you know, we always have to do it. This is kind of how I kick it off. And I'm going to start it with you, Kmetris. The question of the hour. If someone was to ask you, who is Kmetris? Who is Tracy? I need you all in your own words to answer that question. So, who is Kmetris?
Well, Tennille, you know my story. So Kmetris is an overcomer. If nothing else, if you look it up, you're going to see my face. Kmetris is an overcomer, an encourager, one who loves to push others and inspire others in Christ, of course, but in other areas of their lives. And most importantly, to overcome, to uh, uh, to just push people to know that they have the power to overcome any obstacle, situation, issue in their lives, that God has given them the power and the wherewithal to do it. And so that is pretty much who I am in a nutshell.
I love it. I love it. And you are right. We are no strangers to each other. It's not like you just started doing this, but you have been doing this for a while. And so I applaud you. I'm so proud of you for walking in your purpose. And we now have Miss Tracy who's going to come to the microphone and address that same question. So, who is Tracy?
I'm just gonna piggyback off of Kmetris, and I'm just so honored to be with such amazing women of God who I feel are women of the same type of heart that I have. We are givers, we are lovers of Christ, we are willing vessels to minister to men and women the gospel of Jesus Christ, to share our experiences and our talents, and to just to just embrace the world and just love unconditionally. That's who I am. I'm a lover of God. I
Yeah.
love people, and I just wanna live so that God can use me anytime and anywhere.
You gotta say something. Don't have me go get one of my daughters and start playing that congregation song now. Come on, we got middle school.
Nothing else really.
I love it. I love it. Now, both of you ladies wear multiple hats, and we are going to get into some of all of them on tonight's interview, okay? But I would be remiss if we didn't start with the obvious, right? You all are here because you serve in the capacity of singing. And so, starting again with you, Miss Kmetris, like what got you interested or inspired to sing? When did singing become a thing for you?
Well, I've been singing ever since I was a little girl. So, yes, as long as I can remember, and just remember my mom noticing that in me, and just kind of when family members would come over, like sing, and I'm like, I don't want to sing. I don't want to sing. But then I didn't know that it was something that God put in me initially, that was, a talent. I didn't see it as that, at first. But just, going to church back then when I was little with my grandma and singing with the little children, with my peers. And then, but as I began to grow, and in school, other people noticed it too. You're just playing around. But then I ended up being in talent shows and in plays and singing and stuff like that. So, and I used to write songs back then when I was like 12 years old. I would write, but I didn't know that it was going to really cultivate into something, great, like becoming an artist. I didn't know that back then, but I've always kind of just done it as a child, but never really took it as, oh, this is something I'm gonna do in life. It wasn't like that. So, but even in high school, I remember I was voted the most talented because I could sing, and I ran track, and I won a lot of medals for that and trophies for that. And being, like I said, being in plays and stuff like that. So yeah.
Well, that is so awesome. Tracy, how did your journey begin as a singer?
Okay. Oh, I got.
She said, wait, let me take a breath first.
Well. First of all, I just believe that I was born. It was born. I was born with it. I didn't know it at the time. I always sang. I just didn't know that I could sing. Growing up in the Church of God in Christ, of course, singing in the Sunshine Band and all those amazing things, and just like watching my peers being called, just being called out or out, and just the competition. I was never like a competitive person. And I guess by the time I got to be about the age of 11, my my godfather, I would always, for some reason, because I sang in the church all the time, Bishop's Mass Choir. My aunt was the president of the Bishop's Mass Choir of the first jurisdiction of Southeast Illinois, and so I was a fortunate little girl, and I sang in that choir. I was getting, but I didn't know. I love to sing, but I didn't know I could sing. And my godfather told my mother, he said, Tracy, I was singing at the kitchen, and he would be listening to me, and he told my mom that I could sing. And my mother was like, Tracy can't sing. He said she can't. Oh, he was all upset about it. And so I kind of heard that conversation, right? So, anyways, I kept singing on in the choir in the Sunshine Band, got a little older, the junior choir. Yeah. All right, so now here I am. I'm standing on the front row. I was a little soprano at the time when I could sing. and I'm standing on the front row. Our choir is getting prepared for the annual anniversary, and one of our former members would always come home and train the choir for those 2 weeks, get us ready, right? And obviously, Lonnie Morgan heard this little voice, this little girl, and he called me out, and he pulled me to the piano, and he said, "Learn this." And being the kid that I was, and like Kmetris being in all the plays and everything, which I never auditioned for, I was always called out and get given
Right.
the. And I knew at a very early age how to follow instructions. So he told me what to do, and I did what he told me to do. And I was at that time I was 13. That was 2 years later. I was 13, and first real big appearance in front of like about 500 and some people. And still at that time, I still didn't know what was happening. It was just so big and it was so powerful. I didn't even know what was happening. But I
Mm.
continued to sing, of course, in the choir and all that great, great, great stuff. By that time, I was getting at that. You do have a little voice. You can sing a little bit. Everybody was telling me I could sing. I'm at the autograph, and I was like, oh,
I got you believing it now.
yeah. I'm I'm a teenager now, so I'm kind of believing this thing about you can sing. So and I like story after story. I went to college. I graduated from high school. I sang in high school choir, played in the band, and then I went to college and I was being a little cocky. We had a little talent show. I ain't never been in no talent show before. They said we had to be in it because we were freshmen, and so I said, okay, I'll learn this verse of this little. I'm gonna learn the first verse, and that's it. So I go up there and do my little thing, and everybody's like, keep singing, keep singing. I was like, I don't know the words. I didn't know the song. I just didn't know. And then, and so then the assistant band director took the song and wrote it and composed it actually for the entire band. So I toured like with my freshman year with Mississippi Valley State University band. But I
Wow.
I never really took it serious. It was just something, how sometimes you have a gift and you just take it for granted. I tried to pursue a career or anything like that. But I sang periodically down through the years, special occasions, wedding or something like that. And then in these past couple of years, when I became a part of actually Warriors Talk God Listens, and I became an author, I decided to write a song. I wrote a song, and I wanted to record it, and my children get it done. And then things just spiraled. It was like God was just making room for my gift. And then Aretha gave me the opportunity to be a part of the cast of Season. There was no theme song. And I said, Aretha, can I write? Can I see if I can do it? And she's like, give it a shot. And I was like, okay. And I did it. And here I am.
Awesome. That
It's
is so
that's
awesome.
so I
That's
never
great.
pursued a career in singing or anything, nothing of that sort at all.
Mhm.
Wow. And it's so crazy because you said you talking about your kids, and Timothy said, "Hey, mama." But Aretha said, "Hello, ladies. Deatrice is on.
Hi,
Keena is on."
Beatrice. Hi,
Thank you
Tina.
to everybody who is tuning in. You guys do me a favor. Continue to hit the like and share button and tag some folks that you know who not only know and love and support Miss Kmetris and Tracy, but also people who might be interested in singing, people who are inspired to help others through their voice. Because we're going to be talking about that some this interview. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things. People who are interested in the APS Awards Gala, tag them, get them in the room. It's going to be a great interview. Now, both of you all said how like you never knew that singing was the thing for you. Yet both of you are recording artists. Both of you have songs, like actual songs that people could go to like iTunes and Amazon and Apple, and they can find them and download them. And like in the author world, if you can go to Amazon and find my book, that means you legit. So that means in the singing world, if I can go to iTunes and find you, you are somebody. So I want to know, so Kmetris, with you, like, when did you know that you wanted to go? Like, okay, you know that you can sing. You've gone through this and you get that you can sing. You've been singing. What made you want to take it to that next step of becoming a recording artist? So now you are Kmetris. Like, what made you want to take it to? What made you want to take it to that level?
Toneal, you are so funny because I am horrible at anything of pushing myself. Oh, I push everybody else. I'm horrible at marketing. So I fuss at myself all the time because even now I was writing so many songs and they was just there. And then God had to really deal with me, about putting it out there. And I've written so many songs, but really it was all about doing it for him, to give it back to him. It's not even about me. It's not about anything, but I want to offer this, what you have given me, back to you. That's it. Because I definitely, I'm not pushing it. I'm terrible. Even this competition, I didn't push it. It's my family. I'm like, I'm terrible. But I'm like, okay, all I could think about was the talent in the Bible. The story, the parable, and how he hid his talent. I said, dang. And you know how the response he received was, I didn't even get nothing from it. Like, you could have at least tried. So yeah, you could have at least tried so I can get a return on the investment. No type of return, nothing. And so that's how I saw it. Like, okay, I don't want to sit here on all of these songs and not at least try to put them out there. And so in my prayers, like, God, this is to you. It wasn't to, because to me, even though I can sing, I don't feel like I'm like the best singer, and I don't know if Tracy goes through this, but you be like, I don't want to put myself out there like that, because you listen to all these, and it's not that you're comparing, but it's like, okay, Lord, you really gonna have to do something for me to do this. And so you really just have to be focused. For me, I had to be focused on him. Like, this is for you. I'm offering this back up to you because you put something in me, and I don't want you to be like, you just wasted it. You didn't do anything with it. And so, but I love what I do. I love writing. I love singing, but sometimes I don't always want to sing. Even like when you sent us the message, you have an opportunity to show, sing. And I'm like, I don't want to do it. And I had to really just sit there and say, why don't you want to do it? Like, do it. And so I'm just terrible at that part, but it's really God inspired. It's really just God inspired and just me offering it back up to him. That's all.
That's awesome. What about you, Tracy? Like, when did you say, or did you ever say, okay, I want to be an artist? What was your story? What is your behind the scenes story?
Well, be honest, and one of my mentors is here on this call with us today. Aretha. Aretha had to tell you are an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Projects to me.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote goals because I wanted to write it. I was inspired to write it and to record it, to perform it at Richelle's,
Mm-hmm.
not to become a recording artist.
Right.
I'm tremendously blessed to have, to my family, are very musically inclined. They have studios, and my daughter is professional. Her husband is professional. We have professional studios, and so I had the privilege of asking them to assist me in getting the project. So
Mm-hmm.
I did it. I took advantage of it. I personally never thought that and I've been writing a long time too. I was prophesied at probably at the age of 22 or something like that. That I the writing, I didn't understand what that was. God, what are you talking about? And my writing started to be manifested in song, but I never ever thought that it was good enough.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I started to just kind of like step outside of the box and out of my comfort zone and stop looking at me and what I thought, but allowing the gift that God had bestowed upon me to bless his people. So I might sound a mess to me, but if it's blessing somebody, that's all that matters.
That
So
part.
step out of what I thought about what it was and just did what he wanted me to do. And that's what I've been. I don't even consider myself as a recording artist now, although I have single and one on the way. It's like, because that gets into the performance thing. Gets into, and it's many different levels, and I'm ready for that. But I know that God is has made room for my gift, and so
Hmm.
I'm right more in preparation for that, you know, than anything else. Is like, okay, well, will I be ready when it comes time to go out there into the world and deliver the message through song to God's people? And it's all about God because it be, this famous whatever, you know.
Hmm. Hmm. But like
Just want to minister. I want to make sure that I'm ministering.
Mhm.
absolutely. And you know what? I can identify with what both of you ladies are talking about. Hello, Miss Rochelle. Thank you for joining us. Because for me, Tracy, when you said like, because I don't know if I consider myself a recording artist, and Kmetris, when you were saying, because I don't know about the performing part, like I'm okay with, like I can sing, but I don't have to. And that's exactly how I felt like when Remembering came out. So like after I had wrote Remembering, and now I knew that I wanted to record it, but it was not because I wanted to become famous. This was like a tribute for me, for my mother. So it was a personal situation. My mother was a singer. I mean, I've been singing all my life, but I like of all of my titles, singer's not gonna be the first label that I put on myself, okay? But it was like this was something that I want to do for her. And so like once it came out, to your other point, Tracy, when you said like as long as somebody is getting the message, right? Like that's the whole reason why, regardless of what type of artist you are, so whether you are an author, a singer, a filmmaker, the whole purpose of you creating your art is so that it can touch somebody else. And so for me, like I'm gonna tell. I don't even know if I ever told this story out loud, but when I went to record Remembering, my producer was very upset with me because I was extremely hoarse on that day. Like I had been having him under the gun and making sure that we could get this song released on this specific day, right? Because you guys know that sometimes things run according to a deadline and sometimes they don't, and you typically have to be able to adjust. However, it was only one August 18th. My mama didn't die yesterday, next week. I wanted it released on that particular day. Well, when it came time to do it so that it could be released on that particular day, your girl kind of came in there, was all types of horse because I had preached all week, had a whole it was like two events the day before, and Matt looked at me like, go drink some tea now. Go drink some tea now. Do not talk until you get in the booth, right? And so, like, it blesses me. I say all that to say that knowing that it was not my best foot forward, but it's still able to bless somebody else. It lets you know that it's not about you, that it's about God. Go ahead, Miss Tracy.
I got a little testimony, y'all, to that. So I oh my God. So when I heard Remembering, my heart like
Wow.
felt love with the. It was like I I didn't think it was for like my mom died, although I played it, when Mother's Day came in remembrance of my mother. And no idea that that song was such a part of my life until my sister.
Wow.
And I can just it that song took me through. I don't cry because I want the picture. I want to remember the events and everything. And when it plays. So, anyways, long story. That song blessed me to Nia, and I just feel like it's my song. I feel like you wrote it for me. I was gonna.
Praise God.
I even requested her to send me the performance. I was like try to sing it, but guess what? I didn't even want to sing it. I just wanted to hear you sing it, and my allowed to play the song at my sister's funeral just this past Saturday during the silent reading of the obituary. It was soothing. I didn't cry. I was. It just soothed me because it said
Yeah. Well, you know what? Look, y'all not gonna have me cry And this interview is not about me at all. And I was just about to start talking about the songwriting aspect. But guess what, y'all? We are joined now by our third singer finalist of the year, Miss Riah Nicole. So, hello, ma'am. Welcome to the set. She is the baby of the group. So, we want to welcome you so much. Thank you for being able to join us, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good.
That is so good. Now, we're going to catch you up real quick. If somebody was to ask, who is Riah Nicole? How would you describe yourself?
Riah Nicole is a young artist who creates positive, encouraging music to the world, to the youth, and yeah.
I love it. Well, you know what? That's good. It's okay because it's short and sweet, straight to the point. What inspired you to get started singing? And you don't just sing around the house like both Kmetris and Tracy talked about how they always sang, but they were not a teenager when they actually started recording. You're a teenager and you've recorded your first song. So, what made you at such a young age want to take it to being an artist already?
So back in 2020, when everything was going on, COVID and the looting and the racism and everything, I'm just like, let me just write a song. Why not? And so I started to write a song, and I'm like, this sounds good. And I put it together. I showed my mom, and she was like, okay, let's go into the studio. And so after that, I went to the studio, and it just went from there. And I just started loving music and just creating a positive message to the world and just trying to change the world.
I love it. You know, let me tell you what I love about young people. That energy of is nothing to it but to do it, right? Like a lot of times we say that, but then like I think whether life just starts life and situations come up where you're like, I want to do it, but like the kids in the way, the significant other might be in the way, the job is in the way. But like a lot of times with young people, it's like, okay, I want to do it, so let's just go get it done. Now all three of you already alluded to writing your songs. Now there are a lot of singers who are not also songwriters. They just sing what other people write. So I want to know, and Riah, I'll start with you. Like, how did you know that you were able to be a songwriter?
I knew I was able to be a songwriter when I did it. I was writing, I just wrote from my mind and my heart and what I felt. And the minute I did it, I started to love it, and I kept doing it. I was consistent with it, and so it went from there.
Did she just give a whole word? Did she say she was consistent with it? Do so many of us fall off because of that whole consistency piece? Now, Miss Tracy, with you, when you were writing, you said you wrote the song goals. Like, where did you get the inspiration to write? Like, did you know, hey, even if I don't sing professionally, that being a songwriter is something that I want to do? Or how did you kind of stumble into doing that?
So back, just back up all the way back 21 or how old I was.
Wait, we can't, we lost you. We lost your sound.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. The minister that baptized me years ago, like I said earlier, it told me that I had the gift of writing. So I didn't understand that because I didn't like to write. Well, I thought I didn't like to write. I think I was intimidated by writing, and I had sort of like withdrawn from that. And anyways, I started to write. I asked God. I did ask God. I said, "Now, Lord, if you saying that I'm gonna write, then what I'm gonna write?"
Listen, I need you to make it
Right.
plain.
I need you to make this plain to me. So I started hearing melodies. Like I don't write from a track. They build around what I write. I don't know about writing from a track. I would hear melodies and God would give me lyrics and the melody and I would just write and I would write and I could play. I mean I could play that in my head and I did that for years. I just never like sometimes we would sing it. The kid, my nieces and my daughter would find my journals, and they hear me sing the song. They would sing them, but I never sang them. So I know I don't Then when I was in church, so no. So when Michelle we was having that situation where our book had been published, we had actually received them in the mail, and to whatever reason it was unsatisfactory, whatever. And it was like, okay, but don't give up on your goal. Don't give up. And I was in church, so that's the first one that I recorded out of all the other ones that I've already had written. But that was a new one as well. And I was in church at Progressive, and my pastor was preaching on, don't give up on your goal. You're not you don't have to be a product of your circumstances. God loves you, right where you are. And it was just on and on and on. And we just like, he knows just what your future holds, even if you can't see it. You got to trust God, because we walk by faith and not by sight. And that's how I came up with goals, honey.
That is all right.
And then from that, of course, when Aretha, gave me the opportunity to come aboard on season, and we were, I had, we had already actually filmed, like, maybe, I don't even know how many, I think maybe 2 of the episodes already. So I knew what was going on in the episodes. I knew the characters, and so I was really inspired by, for me, through the character of Anita. So it's a gift. I'm just gonna say it's a gift.
Gotcha.
I did nothing. I didn't work for that. It's a gift.
Gotcha.
So I can't even take credit for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely. Miss Kmetris, with your songwriting abilities, did you always know that you could write songs? Did you get to where you're like, I'd rather write songs than sing them? Like, do you look at songwriting as being a passion? How does songwriting play into your journey?
Well, I think mine started when I was young, because I wrote poems as well. It started off as poems, and then I would write songs. But back then, I wasn't like, I wouldn't say I was quote unquote saved and like really into God like that. So some years went, so a whole lot happened, and some years went by. So I really didn't start really writing until I was in my 30s. And as I began to go forth in praise and worship, it was definitely a gift from God. I would hear lyrics. I could start off with a song that I know, but then I'll start hearing something else. And as I'm singing, I would have dreams about songs and literally have to wake myself up and record myself or write down what I'm hearing. I'll hear a melody. Or I could be reading my Bible. Most the songs that I have came from the scripture. I was reading my Bible and it literally just came off the page. And I could hear it. Or one time, my song, More Than a Conqueror, I was sitting in church taking notes and the preacher was preaching. And what he was I was writing my notes and I could hear the melody of what I was writing. And I got my phone and I started humming the melody right there in church. So it's never planned. My writing is, I cannot say, oh, I'm going to sit down and write a song today. No, it doesn't work like that for me. It has to either while I'm singing, just flowing in worship, in prayer, or a dream. It may come to me in a dream, or something like that, or just through reading the word, and I just start hearing it. So it's never planned. So all of my songs, none of them were. It was never planned.
Gotcha.
It was definitely him. It wasn't like what Tracy said. It was nothing that. Oh, I could. No, if you said go write this song, now I can write a song because, like, if you give me music, like with Sir Walter, for his jingle, he gave me the music, and I can write a song around someone's theme. Like if you wanted me to write you a theme song, I could do that, but that takes more planning and thinking. But yeah, I prefer it the other way.
Well, Aretha said that they used your song More Than a Conqueror in her film Passover.
She did. Thank you, Aretha.
I'm trying to tell you, it's so great. Like APS's mantras, we are better together. And that's kind of what it is that we do. We all come together. And so if you guys are just now tuning in, I am joined by three extraordinary female talents, and they are all the indie singer finalists of the year. And if you come out on next Thursday, that's right, I did say next Thursday, as in 9 days away, all of them will take the stage and they are going to perform. Now, I don't know what they perform, and I don't have all the performance tracks yet, but it's going to be good. But I will ask this question next to Miss Riah Nicole. Every person needs or normally has someone who inspires them. So, what singer, and you all think this too because it's coming to you, what singer inspires you?
The singer that inspires me is Beyonce.
Okay. And tell me why.
Just because of her appearance, how she is, how she carries herself, how she sings, everything about her just inspires me. And even my mom, she's not like an artist, but I see her, she can sing. So I kind of look up to her, and like she just inspires me. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Because here's the thing, you don't have to be a professional singer to inspire somebody. Because again, my mom, I mean, for a time she was professional, but by the time I came around, she wasn't singing professionally. But I heard my mom every Sunday in church, and she definitively, for me, had one of the most beautiful voices I'd ever heard. So, Kmetris, who inspires you? Singer wise, it could be, gospel or not, who, or not even record professional at all. Who inspires you? What singer inspires you?
So of course, when I was growing up, all of our singer was Whitney Houston. That was because I ain't know nobody else. And so I didn't know any like gospel singers. And then as I began to get in, tap into that area in gospel or church, it's a lot of people that I like, but I love me some CeCe Winans.
CeCe, girl, stop.
Love me some CeCe Winans.
She about the only one.
I love her, and because I just like her spirit, and I just like her tone. I love her tone.
Yes.
And, she's just very, I don't know, it's just very calming and mild, and just I love it. Although I might be the actual opposite of that. I'm loud. I'm more, I'm the evangelist come out and anyway. So, but I love me some CeCe. It's just, I don't know, but it's other people. But if I had to narrow it down, it would be her.
Yeah, CeCe Winans is definitely a classic. Come on, Miss Tracy. And you can't say CeCe. You can't say
no. I have none other to say. Then that just keep the question, move on, because I don't got nobody else.
Oh my goodness! Oh my! It's a good answer.
I love Gladys Knight.
Yes.
And I love Nancy Wilson.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just love CeCe Winans.
Did you love her? Do you love her?
I just love her. And I mean, and on the male side, I like Donnie McClurkin.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I like Byron
Page.
And I like Brian, because he's just so pure. I like pure hearts. I mean, I don't like, I mean, the performance is good, and they got some, we got some singers. We got some gospel singers that can baby blow. I wouldn't even stand up to them. I was like, honey, don't even.
Yeah.
But I just like those. It's about the spirit of, their spirit and their calmness and their spirit and then their love. I can just feel the love of God to just resonate through them and how they minister. And I just love,
Well, let me tell you. So in my non-spiritual days, so you can't listen to music and not appreciate a voice like Luther Vandross. I'm sorry. So like Luther just did some things, Stevie Wonder just did some things.
Yes, I love them
like
too.
You know what
they
I'm saying? And then she said, in the church realm, I think for me, it would be Yolanda Adams is probably one of my all-time favorite voices.
She's amazing. She is amazing.
Definitely Donnie McClurkin, Marvin Winans, both of them, Marvin Winans and Marvin Sapp. I meant to say,
Yes.
but like I think that everybody inspires you for some different reason,
Something
right?
reason, yeah.
And then it's a generational thing because now you have a lot of like Jonathan McReynolds and a lot of like Travis Green, and but at the end of the day, as long as the message is good, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
it's not even about, because like when Riah was talking about Beyonce, and I know being younger, and not just younger, because there are a lot of people who still I know she just came to Chicago not too long ago, and was standing room only in a venue as big as Soldier Field. You know what I'm saying? One person, all of these people coming to see this one person. And so the point I feel is that everybody, and you said it earlier, Kmetris and Tracy, everybody is purposed to touch somebody. And I just
Absolutely.
think that there are some people whose reach may be better or bigger, I should say, like when you talked about the talents, the 1, the 2, the 5. And so I think the most important thing is not to be focused on whether or not you have 1, 2, or 5 talents, but to be focused on what am I going to do
You with the talent I have. Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? And so I thank God for all of you. I thank God that you all kind of answered the call, right? Like whether it was right away, whether you stumbled into it, or regardless, you guys are here now. And that's what matters. You all are here now. And so we want to talk about, though, the fact, because all of you all have current projects. So I'm not going to ask nobody to sing your current project now, because the people want to hear that, then they can come to the gala. But let me know, like in terms of your current projects, like how long did it take you to do that process? Kind of walk us through what that process looks like, because everybody doesn't know what it takes to, like some matter of fact. I don't want everybody walking through it. Let me say this. I'm going to start asking questions. What was one of your greatest challenges in creating this project, your latest project that's out? What was one of the greatest challenges that you faced?
Staying consistent
Okay.
and not procrastinating.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Them two whole words right there. Staying consistent and not procrastinating. We ain't gonna even, I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. But Miss Kmetris, for you, what was one of the greatest challenges you faced in this latest project that you were working on? What was one of the greatest challenges you faced?
Um, it would probably be something that Tracy touched on earlier. It's like you want it to be a certain way, and so you like perfection. It's like you want,
Good enough.
you
Yeah.
just want it to sound a certain way, and sometimes you can hear something, right? But when you're trying to relay it to other people, they may not hear what you hear. It may not even make sense to them. And I think sometimes for me, that's a struggle, because I know what I hear, and then people try to change what you hear. I'm like, nope, that ain't
That wasn't it.
that wasn't it. And so just wanting it to be, what I hear, what I hear, and just pushing through that, making sure my voice is being heard, and not allowing people to change what I know I heard.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
can be very challenging.
absolutely.
People will change you. I was just want to say this. People will change your stuff, and it's no longer yours. You like, this not even the song that I created. And so yeah, and so stick. I would say to anybody, stick to what you heard, because you're not gonna like it if you allow people. And I heard a major artist say this too. A major gospel artist say the same thing. Someone tried to get them to change the sound that they heard. And so yeah, stick to it and push through it.
Absolutely. Miss Tracy, what's one of the greatest challenges you faced?
One of the greatest challenges that I faced was just believing in myself, and that I was good enough because God said that I was good enough. I had to get over that. a hurdle. That was really something that I wrestled with. Um, but I was really fortunate to work with a master, and I call Matthew
That's
Long
good.
Jr. a master. I went in to record like two songs. I was my first project with Corbin Music was supposed to be a two-song release, and I had a really wonderful coach, Marquita Scaniers, and she coached me, she coached me, she coached me, she coached me, and I had gone through The Time Is Now. And when I got to the song that I'm actually working on now, which is Try Again, I just threw my hands up and I just like, I don't want to record it. And she just said, okay, but the music was already done. Matthew had already laid the music for the time. He laid the music for Try Again before he did The Time Is Now. And I just don't think that it was ready in that season. I wasn't connected with the song. I couldn't connect. It was like I was singing it. It was like I could hear it, but I couldn't connect with it. And it was my song, but I wasn't ready for it. And so I had to take a stand to say no for myself. I didn't want to do it. So that was a really big challenge because we were there and we were rehearsing. You know, Tania, we were back to back, like you going in, I'm coming out, or I'm coming in, you going in to rehearsals. And I just got to that thing and I had to get over like um understanding that I'm in control, and if something that's not working well with me, I don't have to do it. And so I
Mhm.
said no. But I'm
That's
back at it now. And I'm very comfortable with where I am with. Not all the way comfortable because I haven't heard like the background vocals yet, but I'm comfortable with the part I have where I have to play in it. So yeah, I
That,
hope that made sense.
no, it totally did. I mean, because here's the thing: as an artist, there's a difference, and for anybody listening, there's a difference when you are an artist versus when you just like to sing, right? Because if I'm just singing in the shower, nobody can hear me. But if I'm an artist, a performing artist at that, is because again, it's a difference between being a recording artist and a performing artist. Recording artist, you go in the studio. 9 times out of 10, people may not see you. Performing artists, that means I'm expected to get up in front of a crowd. And some people, a lot of artists actually have stage fright. They don't like getting in front of people. So it's like I got to put myself to the side. I got to put my fears to the side. I got to put my doubt to the side and know that I'm good enough to do this. And sometimes it doesn't just come natural for everyone. And so, obviously, if I ask you guys about your greatest challenge, I would be remiss if I did not ask you what has been your most rewarding moment thus far. And Riah, we will start with you.
My most rewarding, I would say, hmm, getting through it. Like just being able to look back and like, oh, I did that,
Mhm.
and yeah, staying focused
I
and just
love it.
get through it. Yeah.
I love it. All right, Miss Tracy, what has been your most rewarding moment thus far?
My most rewarding moment is just to see the expression of my children and the approval that they have given me, that they approve what I'm doing and making me feel that I am good enough. That's that. And one more thing, I guess I could say, to just hear another human being tell me that they enjoyed my work
Mhm.
or how it inspired them to want to do what they know they are called to do. And
Mhm.
so there's a lot of rewarding moments that are great. So yeah, I could
That's awesome. Come on, Ms. Kmetris. What has been thus far, what your most rewarding moments?
Well, they pretty much answered the question, both of them. Getting through it, completing it and looking back saying, wow, I completed, especially when you do your first one. when you do your first project, you like, wow, I wrote a song. Not only wrote it, I produced it. I pushed it out. Like you said, everything that comes with it. You like, wow, I did this. And you're just so grateful and thankful to God that He would use you. And then the same thing Tracy said too. When you see that it blesses other people, when you see the impact that it has on others' lives, like, and it's something when it touches you, because your own stuff should bless you as well. But when you see that it blesses others, because you just never know. But when you get the reports back, it's like, wow, your song blessed me. Your song helped me. Your song helped me to get over, or whatever it is. And that's why we do what we do, to encourage others, inspire others, build others up, help them to get through or over whatever it is, that they're dealing with. And so without those testimonies, it's like, man, you'll be sitting there wondering, like, man, did I really do it's not really about, oh, I'm great. No, it's about, did it do what you wanted it to do? And so I think you said something earlier about the lives that each one of us, we have lives that each one we're going to touch. We all have an audience. And so, and I always tell people, like the wine and song, you may never know the lives that you have touched. That you will never know. You've touched some lives, Riah, that you'll never know about. There are those that are going to tell you, but there are others you will never know. And we don't know how far our songs are going, Tracy. We don't know. And we will never know, but God knows and He sees. And so that's what keeps us going.
Absolutely. You ladies have blessed me. I cannot believe that we are already like getting to that hour mark. Like this interview went by so quickly. I have one more question to ask before we begin the wrap up. And Kmetris, since we end with you, let's start with you. Where do you see yourself in the next? I'm gonna give you 3 years. I won't say next year, but in the next 3 years. I don't mean Kmetris, as a mom, because we didn't even talk about, look, y'all, we went almost an hour and we didn't even scratch the surface. We didn't talk about what else these ladies do when they are not on the stage or in the studio. We didn't talk about, them as moms or daughters or working. No, we simply spent almost an hour just with this one hat. So we're going to keep the question limited to this one hat. So say it, you know what? Yeah, let's simplify it. By this time next year, where is Kmetris as an artist?
I really can't answer that question. I can't, because as I don't know if I'm gonna push another song out yet. I'm working on something else. I'm working. I'm about to release another book. So you already know that I do several things. So a song right now is, I haven't even really pushed this song. So I really can't. Only God knows, and I'm open to God's will for my life. I'm open for whatever opportunities He brings my way, and so I really cannot answer that honestly. Yeah, it's in His hands. I just want to keep pushing forward with what I have, and keep doing the other things that He's inspired me to do, like writing books and releasing those, and yeah, that's about it.
But
Yeah.
that's a fair answer. You actually just painted a picture. So you said, look, hey, I may be doing this if that's as the Lord leads, but I got other things. So I might have more focus on the other hats that I wear. And that is totally a fair answer. Miss Riah Nicole, this time next year or in the next 3 years, either one, whatever you feel most comfortable answering, where do you see yourself? Where would you like to be this time next year?
And this time next year, I see myself being more successful with the music. I see myself making more songs that I already am. I see myself being consistent again, because I have a hard time with that sometimes. But I see myself just staying focused and being successful, helping others, like being there, being the motivation, the message to everyone, and just helping the world.
I
Honestly.
love that. I love that. That is so awesome because it's so important that we understand that our gifts are so much more than just for us, but they're about helping others. So I'm so glad that you get that so early on in your career. Miss Tracy, this time next year, where are you? What are you doing? Wait, we can't hear you. I don't have you muted. You're not muted. Mm-mm. 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 Well, okay, so I don't know. We don't know what happened with Tracy's sound. But look, let me tell you, this is basically the end of the interview. What I was going to do was at this point, I was going to have everybody go around and then, number one, let people know how they can connect with you on social media. Number two, let us know about your latest project and how they can support you there. And then any final remarks that you would like to leave with the audience. So, Tracy, even though we cannot hear you, please in the comments put your contact information, put how people can support you, and then I will make sure that we put that on the screen for you. Okay, so make sure so make sure you, because we still can't hear you. So you type, look, that's what you can be typing while the other two ladies are talking. Contact information, how can they support you, and if you have any lasting remarks. So Miss Riah Nicole, how can people connect with you if they would like to get in touch with you? Let them know about your project, like how can they access it, all of that. And then if you have any final remarks for the listener audience.
Everybody can contact me on Instagram at Riah_Nicole or Facebook Riah Nicole. Um, what's the other question?
How can they, your music, like how can they get like download your music? Like tell them the name of your song and how they can download it.
My music is on all platforms. It's called The Hood by Riah Nicole, and that's my latest artist.
Okay. And then if you have any words of encouragement that you like to leave, what would they be?
Um, no matter how hard life gets, you never give up. Stay focused, keep going, and keep praying. Pray. Yeah.
I tell you what, our future is in good hands with you, Miss Riah Nicole. It has been such
Yes.
an honor to have you on. You have made me smile because your head is definitely on straight. You keep on going and never give up. You're going to reach a lot of obstacles, a lot of negativity. Sometimes people who don't get it, but don't allow their negativity to sway you in the wrong direction. So thank you so much for coming on as well. Miss Kmetris, we'll give you the final word. So, how can people connect with you? Let them know the name of your project, how they can get it, and then leave us with the final remark.
You can connect with me at iamkmetris.com. That's my website. Or you can connect with me on Facebook at Kmetris Danielle, Instagram, Kmetris Danielle. You can connect with me on, you can see some of my videos, my overcoming videos, the Power to Overcome videos on YouTube. I haven't been doing lives lately. But yeah, that's how you can connect with me. Uh, my latest project, my song King of Glory, that came out last year. But that's still my newest project. You can get that on all digital outlets, platform outlets. Yeah, and in October, what I have coming up, I will be releasing my third book of my Power to Overcome series on domestic violence awareness and prevention. So I'm very excited about that project. And that's in honor and dedication to my sister who was killed to the domestic violence. So I'm excited about pushing that project out in the month of October, which is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And that's all.
I love it. I love it. You ladies, be sure to put your links so people be able to download your songs. Put your links in the comment section. And Kmetris will definitely try to get you on before October to help you push the release of that book. But let's see. I think Tracy is. Let's see. Let's see. Do we got sound? Talk to us, Tracy.
Can you hear me?
Girl, yes, come on,
Oh well, how
ladies.
amazing is that, honey? Well, I
Well, we
do
will give
say,
you the last words then. So let people
my
connect.
goodness. Well, anyways, honey, you can I don't know what happened with that. But you guys can connect with me. I would love for you to connect with me at Here Now. It's Tracy R. Kincaide .herenow.com, and you can actually listen to my music on all of the major streaming platforms. You can connect with me on social media, Facebook, Tracy R. Kincaide, on Instagram, Tracy Crawford Kincaide. All of them are Tracy R. Kincaide. On YouTube, Tracy R. Kincaide. You can hear my music, Tracy R. Kincaide, and the title of my songs, which is, what is it? The Time Is Now. And for me, the theme song of Seasoned. You can, oh, yeah. That's oh, and you can visit my website at tracyrkincaid.com.
Well, that was awesome. And I want to just thank all of you ladies. I'm about to wrap it up. You guys, please stay in the back. I will be to you ladies in one quick second. Don't go anywhere. But to all of the listening audience and the viewing audience, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. Look, y'all have no clue just how excited I am. Again, if you just tuned in, we are on the countdown to the seventh annual APS Awards Gala, where we are going to be honoring and celebrating all things indie. So, indie filmmakers, indie singers, indie poets, you name it, it is going to be going down. It is definitively a room that you want to be in. And I'm telling y'all, I got like, I don't even know if I have tickets left, but if you haven't gotten your ticket yet and you're watching this show, like I can give you till this Thursday to hit me up in the inbox or whatever. But when I tell y'all, I can't guarantee you, I cannot guarantee you, but definitely try to make sure that if you want to be in the room and you want to be in the room, because this is going to be bananas. You heard the ladies tonight. Guess what? They're going to be taking the stage. Each of the artists are going to be taking the stage and they are going to be performing live at the gala. Our poets, they are going to be performing live at the gala. You do not want to miss this. I also got a few surprises in store. Folks don't know. I'm so excited. Y'all don't even understand. I'm so excited about seeing what this night is going to do and going to be, because this is the seventh year and it never disappoints. And that is not me saying it from a conceited standpoint. It's just what is. And I cannot believe I forgot to say this while Kmetris was on the stream. But Kmetris actually performed at the third annual awards gala. She was our live entertainment. And so she will actually be back just in a different capacity, but she will be back. And I know that she's going to be just as incredible as she was before. But I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. And again, if you would like to be a guest on the show, be sure to please send an email to my name is that's not where you send the email. Send the email to TonealJackson@yahoo.com if you have a story that you would like to share. And again, keep in mind with Inspirational Talk, it's all about everyday people with extraordinary stories, making just intentional choices to live your best life. So it's not about whether or not you're a celebrity, it's not about your titles, it's about your message. And so, in either case, to my guests again tonight, Ms. Riah Nicole, Kmetris, and Tracy R. Kincaide, I want to thank them so much for joining me. And I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. And I just encourage you all to stay in touch, continue to love on each other, and support one another. And until next time, you all stay encouraged.